Ladies and gentlemen, Trump is back. He's returned to X. That's right. As of right now, Trump is posting on X, and I say it's about damn time. I mean, here he is getting ready for his live event tonight on X with Elon Musk. They're going to be talking about who knows what. It's going to break the internet. It's going to be amazing. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Elon Musk absolutely roasting the EU. Because of what's going on, the European Union has sent Elon Musk a letter. Let's check it out, shall we? Here it is. It's from Terry Breton. He's the European Commissioner. He says, with great audience comes greater responsibility. Hashtag DSA. As there are a risk of amplification of potentially harmful content in Europe, aka freedom. In connection with events with major audiences around the world, I sent this letter to Elon Musk. This is so good. Okay, here it is. Dear Mr. Musk, I am writing to you in the context of recent events in the United Kingdom and in relation to the planned broadcast on your platform X of a live conversation between a U.S. presidential candidate and yourself, which will also be accessible to users in the EU. Good. I understand that you are currently doing a stress test of the platform. In this context, I am compelled to remind you of the due diligence obligations to set out in the Digital Services Act, the DSA. As outlined in my previous letter, as the individual entity ultimately controlling a platform with over 300 million users worldwide, of which 1/3 in the EU, that has been designated as a very large online platform, you have the legal obligation to ensure X's compliance with the EU law, and in particular, the DSA in the EU. This notably means ensuring, on one hand, that freedom of expression and of information, including media freedom and pluralism, are effectively protected, and on the other hand, that all proportionate and effective mitigation measures are put in place regarding the amplification of harmful content in connection with relevant events, including live streaming, which, if unaddressed, might increase the risk of the risk profile of X and generate detrimental effects of civic discourse and public security. Okay. This is a conversation between Elon Musk, a champion of free speech, and Donald Trump, another champion of free speech. What exactly is a harm going to come from all of this? What is this man worried about? This is the fascistic government media conglomerate mega corporation controlling arm of the Bilderberg group flexing. They don't like freedom of speech. They are trying to end it. They don't want people to communicate. This is two huge power players on the planet that are a representation of freedom. That's what they're afraid of. That's what this is about. Let's continue. This is important against a background of recent examples of public unrest brought by the amplification of content that promotes hatred, disorder, incitement to violence, or certain instances of disinformation. He started this letter by specifically referencing the United Kingdom. So I can only imagine that that's what he's referring to. I just had Tommy Robinson on the show, and we had a great conversation about what's going on in the UK. And from what I've learned over the past 4 years of doing what I'm doing here, I've seen how much the media lies and how much they take stories and twist it to try to push their own narrative. What I see going on in the UK is atrocious, okay? The citizens are upset that their government is allowing undocumented illegal immigrants to come and abuse the system and, much worse, kill citizens and rape citizens, okay? And children. It's happening. It's disgusting. It's horrible. and yet they're arresting their own citizens, the one that are upset that it's happening because the government's not protecting them. So that's what he's referring to here. He's referring to the bullshit that the media is claiming is the problem. The far right, the alt-right that are upset. They're out in droves. We fought them back by protesting them. And it's like, no, you guys acted as if it was going to happen. And guess who did show up? The far left progressives that are the violent ones. And then the Muslim groups, the illegal immigrant groups that are showing up happen to be Muslim. And they're the ones who are the original perpetrators of violence. So this bullshit promotes hatred, disorder, incitement to violence. This is all crap that they've made up in the first place. And yes, of course, Brexit, this is the EU. It's the same fucking people. It's the same. We know this. Let's continue, though. It also implies, 1, informing EU judicial and administrative authorities without undue delay on the measures taken to address their orders against content considered illegal, accordance to national and or EU law. Well, what is illegal? I mean, America just arrested a guy for posting a meme. People are saying, oh, well, haha, Britain, we're America. Well, guess what? The American government's doing the exact same shit. January 6th, anyone? All right. A bunch of peaceful protesters who were basically invited into the congressional building, into the Senate. And, okay, some of them stepped too far, but not to mention the freaking countless different agencies, federal agencies that weren't even communicating, that all sent their agents undercover there. That they won't even tell us how many agents they all had. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here because this shit pisses me off. Okay, number 2, taking timely, diligent, non-arbitrary, or objective action upon receipts of notices by users considering certain content illegal. What content is illegal? I'm not seeing this shit, okay? I mean, I'm on X more than the average person. Significantly more. All right. I'm on there a lot. It's where I get my news from. It's where I see what's happening in the world, because that's the free speech bastion, the town square that Elon Musk set it up to be. It's not perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's the best we've got right now. Ridiculous. In this second one is essentially just who's offended by speech. And what kind of speech they allow versus what they don't want allowed. Number 3, informing users concerning the measures taken upon receipt of the relevant notice. Number 4, public reporting about content moderation measures. I'm so sick of governments telling us how we're allowed to think. Yes, what to think, but how we're allowed to think. I think that's more annoying. Because people are seeing this themselves. They're not idiots. This is the government's acting like the citizens are babies that need to be babied, that need to be... I mean, that's how they want us, too. They want serfs. They don't want citizens. They don't like the fact that there are sovereign citizens still on this planet. And we need to bring that back. All right? Sovereignty. That's part of the reason why America is so amazing, is because the sovereign citizen. Okay, and you could bet your ass the Democrats can't stand it. Kamala Harris and Walt, oh my goodness. They're Marxists and communists as it comes. They want to get rid of that shit. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again. Okay, in respect to this, I note that the DSA obligations apply without exceptions or discrimination to the moderation of the whole user community and content of X, including yourself, as a user with over 190 million followers. Jealous? Yeah. Which is accessible to EU users and should be fulfilled in line with the risk-based approach of the DSA, which requires great due diligence in case of a foreseeable increase of risk profile. Oh my gosh, I cannot stand the European Union. I think it should just be dissolved. That's where I'm at. I think they have way too much power. They think it's like one step removed from a global government, okay? All of Europe under one? No. I don't like it. All right. I think just like the states, the United States, the states have a lot of power. They don't realize that each governor is essentially its own president of the state that they are governing over. It means a lot more than people think to be a governor of a state, because states have a lot of rights. Each state is very drastically different, just like each country here is very different. God, I can't stand this person. As you know, formal proceedings are already ongoing against X under the DSA, notably in areas linked to the dissemination of illegal content and the effectiveness of measures taken to combat disinformation. Define disinformation, sir. Define it. Let's be real. Any disinformation, when you hear someone like this saying disinformation, you know what that means, right? It means information that they don't want you to hear. That's it. That's specifically what they're referring to. God. As the relevant content of accessible to the EU users and being amplified also in our jurisdiction, we cannot exclude potential spillovers in the EU. Therefore, we are monitoring the potential risks of the EU associated with the dissemination of content that may incite violence, hate, racism in conjunction with major political or societal events around the world, including debates and interviews in context of elections. What? Because Trump and Elon are going to have a conversation, they're all of a sudden acting like this? Not to mention all the shit and rhetoric that they've been spilling about Donald Trump for 8 years straight. The rhetoric that probably helped convince that Crooks guy to try to take a shot at him. Actually, he did take many shots at him and did, in fact, hit him. Granted, we got lucky and it was just his ear. All right? But that rhetoric, they were like, let's tone down the rhetoric. Bitch, you're the ones that are pushing this hateful rhetoric. It's not the people on the right. It's not the conservatives. If you walk amongst the crowd, you're not ridiculed and hated. They're going to try to convince you to maybe that they don't hate you and you're welcome there. It's not the same when you go to the other side. Gosh, this is crazy. Like, what illegal shit is he talking about that goes on X? I'm convinced this person has no idea. They all live in a little bubble where they're like, this is the narrative we're going to push. All right. Everyone believe it? Good. All right. Let's run with it. Let me clarify that with any negative effect of illegal content on X in the EU, which could be attributed to the ineffectiveness of the way that which X applies the relevant provisions of the DSA, may be relevant in the context of ongoing proceedings and the overall assessment of X's compliance with EU law. This is in line with what has already been done in the recent past. For example, in relation to the repercussions and amplification of terrorist content or content that incite violence, hate, or racism in the EU, such as in the context of the recent riots in the United Kingdom. Oh, I already said it. You know what I want to say right now, all right? And I already said it, so I don't need to say it again. God. I therefore urge you to promptly ensure the effectiveness of your systems and to report measures taken to my team. My services and I will be extremely vigilant to any evidence that points to breaches of the DSA and will not hesitate to make full use of our toolbox, including by adopting interim measures should it be warranted to protect EU citizens from serious harm. Yours sincerely, Terry Breton. Holy shit, this guy. They really feel like they know what's best for you. For me. For the citizens. They know what's best. They're the rightful rulers. Fuck this guy. And you know what? That's what Elon Musk said. Let me show you his response. This is just glorious. Elon Musk said, to be honest, I really wanted to respond with this Tropic Thunder meme, but I would never do something so rude and irresponsible. And then, of course, he posts the meme. Take a big step back and literally fuck your own face. Elon Musk, chef's kiss to you, sir. I'm looking forward to listening to you and Donald Trump talk tonight. Thank you for this X. It's incredible. It's no longer Twitter. I'm really trying to edit Twitter out of my vocabulary because it's X now. I get it. It's different. I feel the difference. Donald Trump is posting on X for the first time, and I'm here for it. So thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you'll be watching tonight with Elon Musk and Donald Trump talking. It's live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on X. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to hear from them. Thank you very much. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Smash that like button. You know what to do. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.